Cassie Carli was born on September 18, 1985, and raised in Navarre, Florida, a coastal town along the Gulf Coast. Cassie Carli was born and raised in Navarre, Florida, a coastal town along the Gulf Coast. She grew up in a close-knit family that provided her with love and support. Her father played a particularly significant role in her life, and their bond was often highlighted by her family as one of her most cherished relationships. Cassie was known for her bubbly, vibrant personality. She had a knack for making people laugh and always brought positivity to those around her. As a child, she enjoyed the outdoors, spending time at the beach and making memories with her family and friends. While her educational background and career details are not widely publicized, it is clear that her life centered around her relationships and her role as a loving mother. In her adult years, Cassie became a mother to her daughter, Sailor, who quickly became the center of her world. Described as a devoted and caring parent, Cassie worked hard to ensure a stable and happy life for her child. However, her personal relationships were not without challenges. Cassie shared custody of her daughter with her ex-boyfriend, Marcus Spanavillo. The relationship between the two was reportedly strained, with Cassie's family later revealing that she had expressed concerns about Marcus's controlling behavior. Despite these difficulties, Cassie prioritized her daughter's well-being and attempted to maintain a civil co-parenting relationship. On the evening of March 27, 2022, Cassie arranged to meet Marcus Spanavillo in the parking lot of Juana's Pagodas, a restaurant in Navarre, for a custody exchange of their daughter. This was a routine arrangement, but this time, Cassie did not return home. Later that evening, her father received concerning text messages from Cassie's phone. The messages claimed she was having car trouble and needed space, but they did not sound like her typical way of writing. Alarmed, her family began to worry that something was seriously wrong. The following day, when Cassie failed to contact her family, they reported her missing to the Santa Rosa County Sheriff's Office. Authorities quickly began investigating, and Cassie's car was found abandoned in the parking lot where the custody exchange had taken place. Her purse and other belongings were still inside, indicating that she had not left voluntarily. Law enforcement and volunteers launched an intensive search for Cassie, covering areas in Florida and beyond. Search efforts included helicopters, canine units, and ground teams combing through potential locations. Marcus Spanavillo, the last person to see Cassie alive, became the primary focus of the investigation. From the outset, Marcus was uncooperative with authorities. He provided conflicting accounts and refused to share information that might assist in locating Cassie. After days of relentless searching, law enforcement located Cassie's body in a shallow grave inside a barn in Springville, Alabama, over 300 miles from her home in Navarre. The location raised immediate questions, as Cassie had no direct connection to the area. Investigators soon discovered that Marcus had ties to Alabama, which led them to the site. Cassie's death was officially ruled a homicide, though the exact cause of death has not been publicly disclosed. This decision was likely made to preserve the integrity of the ongoing legal proceedings. From the beginning, Marcus displayed evasive and suspicious behavior. He provided false information and was charged with tampering with evidence, giving false information, and abuse of a corpse. These charges stemmed from his alleged disposal of Cassie's phone and other belongings to hinder the investigation. The messages sent to Cassie's father on the night of her disappearance were flagged as suspicious. Investigators believed that Marcus sent these messages in an attempt to mislead Cassie's family and law enforcement. The discovery of Cassie's body in a remote barn suggested premeditation. Marcus's ties to the area provided investigators with critical leads, but the choice of such a distant and secluded location raised questions about his planning and motives. Cassie's family revealed that her relationship with Marcus had been fraught with tension and that she had confided fears about his behavior. The custody of their daughter, Selah, was a contentious issue, and some speculate that it may have been a motive for the crime. Marcus Panibelo was arrested in connection with Cassie's disappearance and death. While he has faced charges for evidence tampering and abuse of a corpse, a formal trial for her homicide is still pending. Prosecutors are building their case, relying on forensic evidence, witness testimony, and digital data to hold Marcus accountable. Law enforcement has not publicly disclosed how Cassie was killed, a decision likely intended to maintain the integrity of the legal process. The choice of a remote location in Alabama for disposing of Cassie's body suggests careful planning, raising questions about whether the crime was premeditated. Cassie's daughter, Selah, was her mother's pride and joy. Her future and well-being have become a central concern for Cassie's family as they navigate life after this tragedy. Cassie Carli's story has drawn attention to the dangers of domestic violence and the challenges of navigating custody disputes in high-conflict relationships. Her family continues to honor her memory by advocating for justice and raising awareness about the importance of supporting victims of abuse. This tragedy serves as a sobering reminder of the need for vigilance and better safeguards to protect those at risk of harm.